Tanner Gates. Just 3 out of the 46 United States presidents have been impeached. Everyone in this room is affected by who the president is and the choices they make. The impeachments of former President Trump affected the nation even months later. First, I'm going to talk about what impeachment is, and second, I'm going to talk about why the impeachments of President Trump mattered. Impeachment is an enormous event in our country. Impeachment is the power the Constitution permits Congress to do. Charlie Savage, a Pulitzer Prize-winning author and newspaper reporter for the New York Times, reported in an article in the New York Times published in 2017 that the Constitution permits Congress to remove a president before their term is up if enough lawmakers vote to say that they committed treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States are subject to impeachment. There's also a process to impeachment. It starts in the House of Representatives, where they vote on one or more articles of impeachment. If one or more of the articles passes with a majority vote, the president is then impeached. It is often easier to impeach a president in the House due to a simple majority vote. Then it moves to the Senate. The Senate has the power to try all impeachments. Michael J. Gerhardt, the Salmon Ash Distinguished Professor of Constitutional Law at the University of North Carolina School of Law in Chapel Hill, stated in his book, The Federal Impeachment Process, A Constitutional and Historical Analysis, published in 2019, that if 2/3 of the senators find the president guilty, he is removed from office. No president has ever been found guilty in the Senate. There are also results to an impeachment, the biggest being that the vice president becomes acting president. The president, however, is only banned from holding office. This is showed where, in the Constitution, where judgment of the cases of impeachment shall not be passed removal from office, and also where the president shall nevertheless be subject and liable to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to law. Now let me know what impeachment is. Let's take a look at why President Trump's impeachments mattered. Jeffrey Engel, a founding director of the Center of Presidential History at Southern Methodist University and professor in the Clements Department of History, noted in his book, Impeachment, An American History, published in 2018, that it is rare to impeach a president, and for good reason. Impeaching a president is no small thing. Donald Trump is the only president to have ever been impeached twice. Bill Clinton and Andrew Johnson were the 2 other presidents that have been impeached. Richard Nixon would most likely have been impeached, however, he resigned before the House voted. The outcome of impeachment is monumental for the country. Cass R. Sunstein, a former administrator of the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs and current Robert Walmsley University professor at Harvard, detailed in his book, Impeachment, A Citizen Guide, published in 2019, that no matter the outcome, it is important to know that we followed the rules of the Constitution. Alan Dershowitz, a constitutional law scholar and professor for 50 years at Harvard Law School, presented in his book, The Case Against Impeaching Trump, published in 2018, that this is something that our children will learn about in school some days. The impeachments of President Trump set a precedent for our country. These impeachments could help show whether or not it would be worth it or not to help start an impeachment in the first place. Politicians will use these impeachments in the future to help prove future presidents innocent or guilty on impeachment. First, I talked about what the process of impeachment was, and second, I talked about why the impeachments of President Trump mattered. The impeachments of former President Trump affected the nation even months later. We now have new examples of impeachment we can forever look back on to base off of for the betterment of our country, and as one of the presidents who was impeached, Donald Trump's impeachments will serve as a guideline for future impeachments, and we can use them to grow and learn in the future.